In a world where change never stops, some places seem to be running out of time. From busy cities to quiet countryside towns, every place has its own story of ups and downs. Today, we're focusing on a unique list, the 10 fastest collapsing states in America for 2025. These states aren't in the spotlight for their growth, but for the tough challenges they face. Whether it's money troubles, people moving away, or environmental issues, each state on this list has its own struggles. As we explore them, we'll uncover the reasons behind their decline. Problems like economic struggles, natural disasters, and shifting populations are all playing a role. Each state's story is one of both struggle and resilience, making this list an eye-opening and sobering look at the challenges of our time. Maryland, often known for its rich history and bustling cities like Baltimore, is now grappling with some of the toughest challenges it has faced in years. One of the most pressing issues is a workforce shortage that affects vital sectors like healthcare and education. As stated by Capital News Service, businesses are struggling to operate at full capacity, and the lack of skilled workers is like trying to drive a car without fuel. It simply doesn't work. This crisis has become a top priority for the state government, but progress has been slow. Adding to Maryland's woes is the devastating Baltimore Bridge collapse, which occurred earlier this year. This disaster disrupted major transportation routes, causing an economic loss of over $1 billion. The ripple effects were felt across industries, from cargo shipping to local businesses. Imagine the chaos when a city's lifeline is suddenly cut off. And it's not just about money, the tragedy claimed lives, leaving families and communities shattered. Maryland's population is also taking a hit. With rising costs and limited opportunities, many residents are choosing to move elsewhere. This outmigration is draining the state of its talent and tax base, making recovery even more difficult. Maryland's challenges are a stark reminder that even states with historical significance and economic potential aren't immune to collapse. Connecticut, a state often associated with wealth and picturesque landscapes, is quietly sliding into decline. Despite having a strong foundation in industries like life insurance and healthcare, its economic growth has slowed to a crawl. In 2024, the state's growth rate was just 1.4%, far below the national average. It's like watching a high-performance sports car struggle to climb a hill. What looks powerful on the surface can hide deeper issues. According to CEO World magazine, one of Connecticut's biggest challenges is its financial instability. Yes, the state boasts a gross domestic product (GDP) of $345 billion and ranks third in adjusted per capita personal income, but beneath this shiny exterior lies a sputtering engine. Rising debts and a lack of robust economic policies have left the state vulnerable to downturns. Wealthy on paper, yet struggling to stay afloat, Connecticut's situation is like a mansion with a leaky roof. Another key issue is the state's rising cost of living. High housing prices and property taxes are driving residents to cheaper states, causing a gradual population decline. Fewer people mean fewer consumers and workers, further slowing economic momentum. Connecticut is a cautionary tale of how prosperity, if not carefully managed, can crumble under its own weight. Massachusetts, a state celebrated for its educational institutions and innovation hubs, is facing some surprising setbacks. While the state has long been a leader in industries like biotechnology and finance, recent data tells a different story. As reported by Pioneer Institute, Massachusetts dropped dramatically in national business rankings, falling from 15th to 38th, a record-breaking nosedive that signals economic instability. One of the key issues driving this decline is the high cost of living. Housing, healthcare, and everyday expenses in Massachusetts rank among the highest in the country, pushing some residents to pack up and leave. This has resulted in a net domestic migration loss, even as international migrants continue to arrive. The state's population is walking a tightrope, with small gains offset by big losses. Climate change is another looming threat for Massachusetts. Rising sea levels and more frequent extreme heat days are becoming the norm. By 2050, coastal flooding and increased heat-related illnesses could reshape the state's landscape and economy. Massachusetts has ambitious plans to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and transition to clean energy, but these initiatives will require significant funding and long-term commitment. Before we continue with the countdown, take a moment to support the channel. Hit the like button if you're finding this video insightful, and make sure to subscribe for more eye-opening content. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Now, let's get back to uncovering the next state on our list. New Jersey. New Jersey, often called the Garden State, is a place of contrasts. Known for its vibrant culture and proximity to major urban centers, it's also grappling with severe challenges that are reshaping its future. First on the list is population density. New Jersey is the most densely populated state in the US, with nearly 9 million people crammed into a relatively small area. This creates constant pressure on the state's infrastructure, from congested roads to overburdened public services. Imagine trying to navigate a packed mall during Black Friday sales. But every day, that's the reality for New Jersey residents. Village Square Realty noted that the cost of living in New Jersey is another major hurdle. Sky-high property taxes and expensive real estate are driving residents to more affordable states. Many families find it hard to make ends meet, with housing alone eating up significant portions of their income. For those staying, it feels like running on a treadmill. They're moving, but they aren't getting ahead. Economically, New Jersey faces a shift in its industrial base. Once a manufacturing powerhouse, the state has seen traditional jobs decline due to automation and economic shifts. Many workers are struggling to adapt to new roles, while the state's growing pension liabilities loom large. It's like juggling too many balls in the air. Eventually, one is bound to drop. Environmental challenges also plague the state. Rising sea levels and increased storm intensity make New Jersey particularly vulnerable to flooding. Coastal areas are already facing serious erosion, and industrial pollution from the past has left behind toxic sites that require costly cleanup. Addressing these issues feels like an uphill battle with no clear end in sight. Michigan, known for its automotive legacy and beautiful Great Lakes, is facing a steady decline that mirrors a leaky bucket. It's hard to keep full no matter how much is added. Bridge, Michigan reported that the state's population decline is driven by low birth rates, high death rates, and insufficient migration to offset these losses. Even as young workers and families move in, the natural decrease in population outweighs the gains. Economically, Michigan is caught in a vicious cycle. Fewer people mean less demand for goods and services, which leads to business closures and job losses. This in turn discourages new investments, creating a downward spiral. The state's once thriving industrial base hasn't fully adapted to the demands of a modern tech-driven economy. Infrastructure is another significant challenge. Michigan's roads and bridges are in dire need of repair, and funding remains elusive. The harsh winters only worsen the situation, with freeze-thaw cycles wreaking havoc on already crumbling structures. It's like trying to fix a cracked dam with duct tape, temporary at best and a disaster waiting to happen. Adding to Michigan's woes are environmental challenges. The Great Lakes, while a source of pride and beauty, are experiencing fluctuating water levels due to climate change. This impacts everything from agriculture to tourism and causes erosion along the lakeshore. The state's natural beauty, once a strength, now requires careful management to prevent it from becoming a liability. Ohio, often called the heart of it all, is experiencing challenges that could change its identity. The state's population is projected to decline by 5.7% by 2050, driven by an aging population, low fertility rates, and minimal migration. It's a slow fade-out that's hard to reverse, with far-reaching economic implications. According to HealCare Value Hub, public health challenges further complicate Ohio's situation. The state's life expectancy is below the national average, influenced by factors like limited access to healthcare, food insecurity, and housing instability. Addressing these interconnected issues requires comprehensive strategies. One major consequence is the shrinking workforce. With fewer people contributing to the economy and a growing number of retirees relying on social services, Ohio faces a demographic time bomb. The pressure on healthcare, pensions, and social programs is mounting, and solutions are neither quick nor easy. Ohio's infrastructure isn't faring much better. The state is prone to natural disasters from winter storms to earthquakes caused by deep geological faults. Heavy snowfall has even led to roof collapses, adding to the financial strain of maintaining and repairing public assets. It's a costly endeavor that leaves Ohio in a perpetual game of catch-up, but Ohio seems stuck in a cycle of reactive rather than proactive solutions. Pennsylvania, known as the Keystone State, is at a crossroads, facing significant challenges that are reshaping its social and economic landscape. As highlighted by Spotlight PA, one of the biggest issues is population decline, especially in rural areas. Since 2020, these regions have seen a 0.7% decrease in population, with urban residents also packing their bags due to safety concerns. In fact, Pennsylvania ranks 4th nationally for outbound relocations, a troubling trend that's hard to reverse. Economically, Pennsylvania is grappling with stagnation. The state's minimum wage remains at the federal level of $7.25 an hour, one of the lowest in the country, While neighboring states have raised wages, Pennsylvania lags behind, leaving many workers stuck in low-paying jobs. This has contributed to a poverty rate of 12% higher than the national average. The state's refusal to increase wages not only impacts household incomes, but also slows overall economic growth. A higher minimum wage could boost the economy by over $5 billion, but political gridlock has kept these changes at bay. On the bright side, Pennsylvania has made strides in healthcare, thanks to early Medicaid expansion and subsidies under the Affordable Care Act. The percentage of uninsured residents has dropped slightly from 5.8% in 2019 to 5.4% in 2023. However, these small victories in healthcare are overshadowed by broader issues like stagnant wages, population loss, and economic stagnation. Pennsylvania's struggles highlight the complexity of addressing interconnected issues. Without a coordinated effort to tackle its economic, social, and demographic challenges, the state risks further decline, making it a sobering addition to this list. Illinois, often celebrated for its rich cultural heritage and vibrant city life in Chicago, is now grappling with challenges that threaten its stability. Financial instability has become a hallmark of the state's struggles, with Illinois shouldering one of the highest tax burdens in the nation. Property taxes, in particular, are a source of frustration for residents. For many families, the increasing financial strain is unsustainable, pushing them to seek relief in other states with lower living costs. From the viewpoint of Illinois policy, the state's pension crisis is another ticking time bomb. Illinois has one of the most underfunded pension systems in the U.S., with billions of dollars in liabilities. This fiscal mismanagement affects public services, including education, healthcare, and infrastructure. As these essential services deteriorate, residents lose confidence, leading to a vicious cycle of population decline and shrinking tax revenue. Between 2020 and 2023 alone, Illinois saw a significant outflow of residents, further exacerbating its economic woes. Economically, Illinois faces a difficult transition. Once a powerhouse in manufacturing and agriculture, the state has struggled to keep pace with the modern economy's tech-driven demands. Opportunities outside of Chicago remain scarce, leaving smaller towns and rural areas economically stagnant. The disparity between urban and rural regions highlights the state's uneven growth. Environmental issues also add to Illinois' challenges. With its location near Lake Michigan, the state faces risks from flooding and water contamination. Without urgent reforms to address its financial, social, and environmental challenges, Illinois could face an even steeper decline in the coming years. New York, the Empire State, has long been a symbol of opportunity and ambition, but in recent years it has faced a cascade of problems that threaten its iconic status. Between April 2020 and July 2023, New York experienced the fastest population decline in the U.S., with tens of thousands of residents leaving. The reasons are clear: high living costs, steep taxes, and a pandemic that redefined urban living. For many, the dream of success in New York has turned into an uphill battle against mounting expenses and dwindling opportunities. The state's housing crisis is particularly glaring. The BBC noted that the skyrocketing rents and property prices have pushed middle and working-class families to the brink. Even professionals find it difficult to sustain a comfortable lifestyle in cities like New York City. This has led to an exodus to more affordable states, leaving behind a shrinking tax base and a growing sense of inequality. Environmental concerns compound the state's troubles. Rising sea levels and more frequent heat waves pose severe risks to infrastructure and public health. By 2050, New York City could see significantly more days above 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which will strain energy resources and worsen living conditions. Coastal flooding also threatens areas like Manhattan, with far-reaching consequences for the economy. New York's nonprofit sector, a crucial safety net for vulnerable populations, is under severe strain. Delayed government payments have left many organizations on the brink of closure, jeopardizing housing, immigration services, and public health initiatives. These systemic cracks reveal a state grappling with deep-seated challenges. New York must find a way to balance its legacy of ambition with the realities of an increasingly challenging future. California, the Golden State, is often viewed as the land of dreams, innovation, and opportunity. But behind the sunny facade lies a state grappling with deep economic and environmental challenges. At the heart of California's struggles is a staggering $55 billion budget deficit for 2024 to 2025. While the state's wealthy elite benefit from stock market gains and high salaries, most residents face stagnant wages, widening the gap between the haves and the have-nots. As reported by PPIC, the housing crisis in California is among the worst in the nation. Skyrocketing property prices and rental costs have forced many families out of their homes. Homelessness is now a visible and growing problem, even in affluent areas like Los Angeles and San Francisco. For many, the California dream has turned into an unreachable reality. Environmental challenges add another layer of complexity. Wildfires, droughts, and rising sea levels are reshaping the state's landscape and economy. By 2100, coastal areas could experience sea level rises of up to 7 feet, threatening homes, businesses, and critical infrastructure. The state's reliance on water-intensive agriculture further strains its limited resources, making droughts increasingly devastating. Despite these challenges, California remains a hub of innovation and resilience. Tech giants continue to thrive, and the state is a leader in renewable energy and environmental reforms. However, these successes are overshadowed by systemic issues that require urgent action. The Golden State must find a way to balance growth and sustainability if it hopes to maintain its status as a beacon of opportunity. And now, as promised, here's the bonus: Utah. While many states are struggling, Utah stands out as a shining example of resilience and growth. With a strong economy, low unemployment, and a high quality of life, Utah has managed to buck the trend and thrive amidst nationwide challenges. It's a reminder that with the right policies and community spirit, progress is possible. Thank you for joining us as we explored the 10 fastest collapsing states in America for 2025. Each state's story is a unique tapestry of challenges and resilience, offering important lessons about the delicate balance between progress and adversity. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. And if you're ready for a change of pace, check out our next video, 10 Most Beautiful Cities in California. Until next time, stay informed and stay inspired.